Good morning, here we are again in southwest France. Blue skies again. It's supposed to be up to 20 degrees today, I think, and the forecast is for no rain for the next 2 weeks at least. So they're talking about even possible drought conditions. So not so good for the garden, but good for me. Since the last video there's been a few comments, which have been great. Keep them coming, and liking the video would be good as well. I've got them on a piece of paper here, the comments, and they were very useful. The first one was about the garlic. The garlic, I said last year, hardly did anything, just the little cloves just got a bit fatter, and that's almost definitely because I planted them too late. Garlic needs a cold period for it to become into cloves, several cloves, not one bulb. And last year's I planted probably about this time, which is May, so absolutely rubbish. This year's I planted early March when they were available in shops, so they've had at least 2 good frosts and definitely some cold weather. It was even suggested that I plant them in October, so they have the whole winter to get cold, and apparently you get really good bulbs that way. So I might try that this year. Also said about the broad beans as well. Broad beans planted in the autumn, at the same time, October, means they overwinter, which means that they're quite tough plants. So come the spring, all the aphids and everything else don't stand a chance, because it's a tough plant and it's not gonna succumb to aphids. Unfortunately, ours this year, it was partly our fault. We did plant them in the autumn and then ignored them. So by the time we come to plant them, they weren't the best in the best of health at all. But we'll learn. The other point was about the sweet corn. Oh, that's right, yeah, the sweet corn. The sweet corn I found in the field. It was pointed out that this is probably maize, and it almost definitely is. And I did look it up at the time to see what the difference was between maize and sweet corn. And basically the difference is that sweet corn is what you pick early, just as it sort of sets, and maize is what you get if you leave it to dry out. But they're obviously different varieties, and different varieties grow better and do better things. So I'm almost certain that the ones that I've got from the field are better at producing starchy material, which is ideal for maize, and which is used for animal feed and flour and things like that. So we'll see. It'll be an experiment. Why not? I'll grow it. If it tastes horrible in when it is first ready, we'll leave it and let it dry out, and we'll use it as popcorn. Can't see why not. Popcorn needs starchy stuff, so we'll give that a go. It should be fine. What else we've got? Oh yeah, the last thing here is that apparently I now need 999,998 subscribers to get some sort of award from YouTube. But there you go. Right. I think I'll go and get changed now into my dirty clothes and do a little bit of gardening. So we went to the garden centre yesterday. It's more of a nursery than a garden centre. They've got loads and loads of greenhouses where they grow all the stuff, and it's really good. Lots and lots of stuff there. So we needed some tomatoes, as our seeds are just not doing what they should be doing. So we bought, let me see if we can show you the wheelbarrow full of tomato plants, marigolds, because ours again are very slow. And then we saw a couple of other plants. We saw this chocolate pepper. It's very dark green, almost black pepper, and a yellow pepper. There, I know the pot's yellow, but apparently the peppers are yellows too. Right, we've got several different types of tomatoes. Unfortunately, they didn't come with labels. Now we did photograph all the labels in the shop, but each individual plant didn't come with labels. So we don't really know what we've got, although we will know what we've got when the tomatoes fall. So what I've done is I've dug over, weeded. I don't know if you remember from last time, this one was completely full of bindweed. So I removed all of that, and as much as I can within reason. And that's going to be our tomato bed. And then over here is the bed with the 4 aubergines. I'm going to use that space at the back there for the peppers. Might not be the best use of space, but that's what we're doing. We'll fill the gaps with other things as we go along. Right, so I'm going to get on and plant these and show you the results. I've been told when planting tomatoes, it's best to plant them as deep as possible, and what you do is you take off all these lower leaves, which I find really scary, but what happens apparently is that it forms roots where all these leaf joints were. So you get a plant that's really deep, got really good firm roots, nice deep down. So here goes. Ouch. Ouch. I'm not going to do that for all of them. Right, let's just pinch all these off. Now, I don't want to go right to the top, but I've seen some people actually just leave the very, very top, but I'm not going to do that. I'm too scared. So, this is going to be tricky, isn't it? One-handed gardening. So I've got to dig a nice big hole here, much deeper than I would normally dig. Oh, snail. I think that's a dead snail. Yeah, it's a dead snail. Right, how deep can we go? Oh, that's a bit of bindweed, bastard. Right, okay. A little bit more. Okay, there we go, in the hole with you. There you go, right down there. Oh, that looks quite scary to me, but if it works, brilliant. Of course, if it doesn't work, I'm going to blame whoever it was told me to do this. I've just got to find out who it was. So, I'm going to carry on doing that with all these others. Get these all in and show you what's happened. Okay, that's the tomatoes all in. That's all, 10 plants. And I've also planted 2 marigolds in the middle there. They'll attract ladybirds, hoverflies and other predators that will kill off and eat all the aphids and all the other nasty things that will normally kill all our veggies. So there was one minor casualty of the picking the lower leaves off, and I managed to crack the main stem of one of them, so we might be a man down. But I did plant him then deep enough that the next leaf node that I picked off was below the soil, so hopefully that will grow roots and it'll be okay, but we'll see. Right, I'm going to give him a drink of water and move on to the peppers. So there we go, we have the peppers planted at the back there. A couple of marigolds as well, along with the aubergines, so they'll be good. And now we need to move on to some other things. You might remember from the last video that there was a bed here that was partly dug over. Well, I finished digging it all out, got all the weeds out, and now I've planted the sweet corn that was growing, and they're in there. The spacing's a bit I wasn't too sure what spacing should be because the internet had lots of different ideas. So I've kind of based it on what they do in the fields here, which is about 8 inches between plants. And what I've done is I've done it in short rows and staggered the rows a bit, so the plants are all pretty close to each other. They need to be close because they're pollinated by wind, so all the plants need to be close to each other, which is why you don't do one long row, you do a few small short rows. We'll see how that goes. I've got a couple more plants to put in that weren't quite ready last time, and once they're in we'll be away, but these ones seem to be growing quite nicely now. So this is a laurel hedge along the edge of our garden, and over the last week or so we've had a lot of bees in here. Now hopefully I'll get some of these bees for you, if I can find any. Honestly, there are lots of bees in here. There really are. There's one. And the strange thing is they're not in flower at the moment, the laurel, but these bees, and there's quite a lot of them, are all, I don't know, crawling over the leaves, eating something or other. No idea what they're doing. I did think at one time that perhaps we had a swarm or something inside the hedge, but I can't find anything. Maybe someone's got a hive somewhere close by or something like that. And they're not a problem, they're good. It's good to have bees. The only issue we've had is that Maureen's office, she has her windows open during the day, and the bees come in and go out again. But come the end of the day, when it's time to close up all the windows, it's like closing time at the Red Lion on a Saturday night. You chuck a few out and a few more come back in again, and then you get some more out and they'll come back in again, claiming that they're waiting for Dave or Steve or something. So it's a bit of fun at the end of the day, chasing the bees out. But they're quite docile, they're fine. They're happy bees. So, from me and the bees, until next time, I'll be on top. And that's not going to work. What else is there? Blank. Piece of paper.